Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I'd come back to comment on this new moon and some of the energies. So this channel is more attuned to those who are spiritually minded. For it's already what I wanted to say is that right now there is with this new moon we are being called to look at those things that are blocked within our life, that are stagnating, or those areas of our life that we can have action upon. And so it's and then once we see it, is to take action and to come out of our comfort zone if necessary, in order to take action all the way through before the New Year's resolution. For it's not about resolution, it's about action. And so there is great shift that are happening. Pluto is traversing the whole constellation of Capricorn, and so this is going to create all the shifting in society. Right now there is the conjunction with Saturn, and so there is like all kinds of darker things that are being expurged. But from 2008 to 2024, this Pluto is going to go through that in order to cleanse up all those darker controllers, this dark matrix. And Neptune also is going to be in Pisces till 2026 to continue to in his home sign. So we will continue to move towards the dream while Pluto is eliminating the darkness. Understand, you're already fourth dimensional beings. We no longer through third dimension. We already have integrated the potential of dream and energetic reality. The thing is, we need to align our physical and mental with our astral and emotional, the third dimension with the fourth dimension. And then once we are relaxed, when we are in a state of meditation, we can actually tune in to those higher frequency and draw down this crisp energy, this crisp light from spirit, open our spiritual eyes to that for those frequency. It's all about being here and now, but yet we still know the past, and we have a vision of the future. But the vision of the past and the future can distract us from being here and fully present here and now. And so it is all in the process of being more present and more silent within. For God is the silent partner. We all have God very close to us. In the Quran, God says God is closer than your mouth or your ears. This is very, very close. And it's always been very close, but he's a silent partner. Once you move in the spiritual ascension process, God becomes a senior partner. He's the one that knows the best and will make the best decision for the wholeness of who we are. And our guides and angels and spirit connections, our advisors, counselors, and executives, they all have great power to assist us. We become more a collective of energy as we ascend. Sometimes I feel I have to ask for confirmation, or I have to ask for authorization. I have certain desires and things. When there is no doubt, I just don't even question. If I'm doing something wrong, Spirit asks me to stop, and then I stop, or even insult. But sometimes I feel like I want to get confirmation that this is acceptable, or it is good for me, or it serves a purpose before I act. So sometimes it's like you got to follow your own inner guidance. We have a tendency to look at fault within ourselves because we want to be as providing the best performance possible in the world. But God does not see that. He does not judge us in relationship to our performance. He sees other things. For the point is that for a very long time, the voice of fear, the voice of struggle have become so important that the voice of the soul has been submerged. So we want the voice of the soul, the voice of the heart to regain the dominance over ourselves. For we have a tendency to focus on those things we're afraid of and those problems we have, but the souls are far greater concerns. So it's about breathing and letting go as much as possible. Understanding the earth loves you, and the earth needs your light. For a long time we were like feeling disconnected from the earth. We felt like the cold, it was doubts, fear, insecurity, and cold. But now as we reconnect to the earth, we will find the light, the warmth, the comfort and security of love. And by that we have to seek it deep within ourselves, and then to anchor our feet in the ground. And we have to learn to rest more, to be more in the state of rest. Resting does not mean to do nothing. It means to take care of ourselves. And so we have to take time for ourselves and to be as a child. For the child knows that it's safe, it's free to create. Also, when we think, we have to, sometimes we end up in angles. It means we have a point of view, but we are never. If the angle is too narrow, we get trapped. And so it's about understanding you're not any angle. You are a full circle. You are a complete circle, and you can adopt any angle within the circle. But do not be rigid in your mind, and be able to change your mind if necessary or when necessary in order to adapt to the new energies that are coming. So yeah, the inner part of us is deep within us. We can find this safety, this love, this rest and relaxation. The key is not to connect to the information that comes from the head, but connects to the information that comes from the heart. For we have a lot of knowledge and experience to share with others. And what we need to do is to bow down to our inner light. Our inner light is greater than we are. For we are one, but it's coming slowly but surely, but we want to bow down to this great light that we have within. And I'm going to pull a few cards and discuss a few ideas of societal ideas. The highest wisdom is communication. What we need to understand is cheminement, it's the ascension, assess, is to be able to move from step to step. What we need to do is to request. Is the request. We're asking. It is good to be clear and precise in what we're asking for. And the outcome is temperance. It means we're going to be the lighter part of ourselves will become dominant over our darker part. I often see, I watch the news because I'm interested in what's going on in the world in this dimension. And I often see that most journalists will most of the time focus on the problem, on somebody. It's like whatever's not totally perfect, they will focus on that and make it big. I'm not saying with everybody that's in the public eyes we need to observe what's going on, but sometimes there is certain good thing. We miss out the light that what is going on because we focus so much on the negative aspect of things. And also as a healer, when we come for healing, it's like there's this condescension that the healer, the doctor, whoever, it's like come for healing is superior to the person who comes for healing, when actually the true healer will always place himself below the patient, below the person, so it connects on the soul level and bring the light to the person, so he will be able to be more receptive to the healing. Spirit was telling me that I may have no choice but to have a future in politics, for I have no personal political ambition. Vini vidi vici. In past life I've done that. It's like, but my service, the fact that those ideas that I express will be an assistance to the collective, so I may have to get involved at some point. Also wanted to say that when you speak, we speak of God and Creator. God is also a magic wand. Is everything, but it's also a magic wand. But we have that magic wand, but we've never learned to use it. We don't know how to use it, and it's like it's a magical wand that can make amazing things happen. So do not be afraid to experiment with your power. For a lot of people who will believe in microbes, the invisible. Microbes are invisible, but they believe in that, but they will not believe in God because God is too much for them to accept. Yet it will come in due time. I'm gonna sing a song, and there's so much to do, but I thought I'd come and do this video today where I can. This is a portrait. This woman, she's a little bit like she's looking a little like she's hautaine, like she's like a bit condescending, but I kind of like her. She's got this very good vibe. And a lot of my paintings is like will be very easy to integrate, like portraits, nudes, scenes, because those are subject matters that have already been treated. But those paintings will maybe more difficult for the collective, for the art world to accept, but they will eventually. And I did sell a number of them, those cosmology paintings, but they are so personal to me. Never in the art history, it's a scene that nobody ever touched. But this is about the master universe and 7 families of spirit beings. I'm going to sing a song and discuss a few societal subjects, just very briefly express a little opinion and pull one more card. It's a song of the Rolling Stones. It goes like this. I've never sang it before. So I did once in French, so I tried to do okay singing it a cappella. It was like this. She would never say where she came from. Yesterday don't matter if it's gone. While the sun is bright, or in the darkest night, no one knows. She comes and goes. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. Don't question why she needs to be so free. She'll tell you it's the only way to be. She just can't be chained to a life where nothing's gained or nothing's lost at such a cost. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. There's no time to lose, I heard her say. Catch your dream before they slip away. Dying all the time. Lose your dream and you will lose your mind and life and kind. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. Who could hang a name on you when you change with every new day? Still, I'm gonna miss you. Well, thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I just wanted to say that sometimes in France, or maybe it's all over the world, I'm sure it's the same. When you ask politicians about creating factories to recycle garbage, they'll tell you we don't have the budget, but they have so much of the budget for so many other things that are not really in this Orwellian. They have money for wars, but they don't have money to recycle garbage. But they're going to be forced to it, I think. Those technologies exist, and even right now they discover new enzymes that can transmute the plastic and can turn into new plastic, so we don't need petroleum to create new plastic. We have so much that could be recycled into plastic and eventually make it biodegradable. For plastic is a polymer. Polymer is a giant molecule made of many other molecules, like the DNA. DNA is a polymer, but DNA is an organic molecule, plastic is a synthetic molecule. And in Santa Fe in 1989, I was running a gallery there, and I met a young man who was an American, and he was a painter. I forgot his name, but he was telling me that he was carrying great karma because his father was involved in the two of the most destructive inventions in history. He was part of the Manhattan Project in Los Alamos, the atomic bomb, and the fabrication of plastics. Although he made a lot of money from that, his son was feeling really guilty about this creation of plastic. Already in '89, there was this consciousness that plastic is not, until we can find a recyclable means, but it's coming. It's very slowly but surely. And so yeah, I just wanted to say, also that a lot of the wars that are happening in the world, like in France, we're involved in many wars. We don't have any business doing wars there. If there is a war in a place that we're going to war, outside of our territory, it's this Orwellian principle that in order to have peace, we need to create war, permanent war somewhere else. It's like Orwellian concept. But in truth, in essence, it's because there is always a strategic advantage to making war. There is petroleum, there is gas, there is uranium. There's always a corporate. It's never for truth and liberty that we send those young people to die. It's just the cause of the day. But and even terrorism, if we make peace within ourselves, we're gonna turn off the anger of those people as well. It's not by making war. We're just we're continuing it's a never-ending process of opposition. That if we're in a mind of war, we'll find an enemy to fight. So So it's not a criticism. I'm just understand that each country has the mean by which to solve their own problem. Like in France, we don't have any reason to do the police in Mali. Yeah? It's not acceptable to me in my own personal view. That means one cannot lend a hand to create education and health and structuring, helping other countries to develop their economy and their stability. Same thing with multinationals. There are certain multinationals that seems to be doing more harms than good. So why don't we forbid them? Like Uber is losing its license in England because of rapes and so on. But Airbnb is like in certain places, like Barcelona, is like they have whole buildings just for Airbnbs, and they're like escaping the law by doing that. Airbnbs, because hotels are very expensive, so some people can use it's a good idea that the originally that if you have an extra bedroom, you can rent it out for the night. But when it becomes a mega business that's no longer the original intent, then it has to be, or maybe laws will have to be made to secure the balance of energy. Well, I didn't want to just, so those thoughts come to my mind. There's a lot of things that we're gonna need to address. A lot of things is being transmuted, transformed, but there will be work to do. I'm gonna pull one more card. This is the Lady of Michael, brilliant, autonomous, perspicace, having a sense of humor. You know exactly what to do. Put your experience to profit. Focalize more on your career than on a love story. So there's a time for everything. For maybe just take care of business, and then love will come within the flow of that. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.